So in this session, we will discuss about um, assignments, assignment two. So in assignment two, of course, you're gonna have two learning outcomes, learning outcome uh, 3 and 4, all right? So learning outcome 3 is about bank reconciliation statement, and learning outcome 4 is about control account. So let me write down for you so you can uh, understand. So in assignment 2, assignments 2, you're gonna have two learning outcomes. Learning outcome 3 is about today's session. So in which session we will discuss about the bank reconciliation statement, right? So you have bank reconciliation statement. What is the meaning? Of course, what is the meaning of bank reconciliation statement? Why we prepare it, right? How we prepare it, right? So all these kinds of things we're gonna discuss in this session. And of course, for your learning outcome 3, it's a combination of theory and calculations, all right? So of course, learning outcome 3 is a part of your calculation. So you have a long questions that you have to solve it. And in this question, of course, you have to prepare a bank reconciliation statement, all right? And learning outcome 4 is about control accounts and suspense accounts. So I will say just simply control accounts, all right? So of course, in these control accounts, you're gonna learn what is the meaning of control accounts and why we prepare and how we prepare. And if we have any kinds of error in our accounts, how we gonna rectify those kinds of errors, all right? So this is your uh, learning outcome 3 and learning outcome 4. So both questions you're gonna have uh, uh, calculations, all right? So let's start with the learning outcome 3. But before we start learning outcome 3, keep in your mind that uh, for your assignment 1, you all have to submit your assignment 1 through learning management system, all right? So I will create a deadline maybe today or tomorrow, and following the deadline, which is 5th of April, right? So your deadline for assignment 1 is a 5th of April, all right? It's gonna be, um, uh, of course, at the end of this week, and 5th or 6th. Could you confirm, is it 5th or is it 6th? It's the 6th of April. Okay. All right. So it's 6th, right? It's 6th of April. All right. So submission is a 6th of April. And one more thing, I will also, because I need to make minor changes in the format of your assignments. Of course, scenario will be the same, right? So I need to make some changes in your assignments format. And so hopefully today or tomorrow, when I will create your submission on learning management system, then Then I will also upload the updated assignments. I repeat, there is no any changes in the scenario. Just I made some changes in the assignments formats, like a cover page and some other some kinds of administration or universities related things. All right. So please use that latest assignments that I will submit with your submission deadline. All right. And make sure everybody submit your assignments on time, which is 6th of April. And that's it. And do not send me email when you submit your assignments. All right. Don't send me email in order to submit your assignment. You submit your assignment through learning management system. So I can easily understand which student and student ID and everything I can understand through the learning management system. And it's much more convenient for me to grade your assignments through learning management system. All right. So please do not submit assignments via email. All right. Submit through learning management system. And that's all for your assignment 1, right? So now we start with the assignments 2, which is learning outcome 3. So learning outcome 3. So learning outcome 3 is about bank reconciliation statement, right? So it's a bank reconciliation statement. Now, what is the meaning of bank reconciliation statement? So basically, bank reconciliation statement, with the help of bank reconciliation statement, we compare the balance, between cash book, and passbook, right? Passbook. So reconciling the balances between cash book and the passbook, it's called bank reconciliation statement. In other words, we can say that with the help of bank reconciliation statement, we can find the reasons that may create a difference between the balance of cash book and the passbook. All right. Okay. So now, what is cash book and what is passbook? Right. So it's important to understand cash book and passbook, and then we move on further. Right. Okay. So what is cash book? Cash book means cash accounts. The accounts related to cash is prepared by the company or the bank's customer, because companies are the bank customers, because they keep money in bank and they deposit money in bank. All right. So cash book means a cash accounts. All right. Cash accounts, like as we prepare cash accounts in our ledgers. When company prepare cash accounts, this is called cash book. If I'm saying cash book, I'm so that means I'm talking about the company cash accounts. All right. Now passbook. Passbook means a bank statement, of course, which is prepared by bank. All right. Bank statement. Bank statement basically providing all the kinds of transaction, all the kinds of history, our account balances, but of course is prepared by the bank, not prepared by us. We prepare only cash accounts. We can control cash accounts. Bank statement prepared by bank, right? Or in other words, you can say that passbook is basically bank record information in one account, and customer have access for that account. So bank will provide their account to the customer in order to understand their account balances. All right. So I repeat again, cash book is a cash account which is prepared by companies, right? So cash book prepared by company, all right? And bank statement prepared by bank. Bank statement prepared by the bank. Okay. Now, so now the problem is, I mean, why there is a need to prepare bank reconciliation statement. The need for bank reconciliation statement is at the end of financial year, at the end of the period, there could be a difference, there could be a difference between cash accounts and bank accounts. All right, there could be a difference between cash accounts and bank accounts. By that reason, in order to make indifference or minimize the difference between cash accounts and bank accounts, we gonna prepare bank reconciliation statement. All right, so I repeat again, cash accounts prepared by company and bank statement, which is passbook, prepared by bank. All right, so for example, uh, I deposit money in bank. Right away, I I make transaction in my cash accounts, right? And when bank receive that money, bank start making transaction in a passbook, right? So that's mainly the ideas behind cash book and the passbook. Now the question is why there is a difference between cash book and passbook. Of course, there are some reasons, all right? There are some reasons or some causes which creates a difference between cash book and passbook balance. All right, so we have some reasons. So that reasons, of course, we're gonna discuss soon that reasons. So because of these reasons, there could be a difference between the cash accounts and bank accounts. I mean passbook. All right, cash accounts and passbook. So there if there is a difference between cash accounts and bank accounts or bank statement, is it good or bad? Of course, it's a bad. I repeat, if there is a difference between cash accounts and the bank statement, it's bad. Why is bad? For example, I am a company, I have a cash accounts. I cannot make changes in my bank accounts because bank accounts is mainly controlled by the bank. Bank has a right to make transactions in the bank statement. And I have a right to make transaction in my cash accounts. So if the balance, that's what I think there is a 5,000 balance in my cash accounts. That's because I'm looking at my cash accounts and bank who's preparing bank statement, who gonna give me at the end of the financial year. So, but from bank point of view, in bank statement, my balance is not 5,000. So let's say my balance is 3,000. So difference, 5,000, my point of view, but actually there is a 3,000 balance in my bank accounts. So is it bad? Of course, it's bad, all right, because something wrong. Why balance is not equal, right? If this is bad, what will be the impact over the business? The impact is, in my mind, there is a $5,000 in my account. So whatever investment, whatever expenditures, whatever money I will spend, I will keep in my mind, my balance is 5,000. But in reality, that balance is overstated, means it's actually 3,000, not a 5,000. So which means that's kind of wrong balance in my accounts, in my cash wrong balance can give a negative impacts company decision making. It can give a negative impacts over company investment activities, right? I need to check something. Monitor, can you do me a favor? Can you count the number of students? Because I can see today we have 19 students. All right. Could you please take the attendance today for the 19 students? I do not know why we have less students today. So please, this is yeah. Please take the write down all the student name, and then you send these names to me. All right. So I will keep in my records that who did not attend this session, because this is very important, right? So make sure you write down 19 students we have. Okay.
Only 18, teacher,
Oh, sorry.
because
Yeah.
19 including you.
Yeah, including me. Okay, yes, that's right. So 18 students we have. So normally we have, I guess, I don't know, last class we have around 26, 25, 26, 23, something like that. Maybe because of assignments, they didn't come to these sessions. But anyway, it's important. So please write down, and then later you send me the list. Okay, so if there is a imbalance between the number of cash accounts and the bank accounts, which is bad for the business, because company will involve in making a wrong decisions, right? So in order to minimize or remove that difference, we prepare bank reconciliation statement, right? That's the purpose of the bank reconciliation statement. Okay. So now we move on to the next. Next is, what are the reasons for bank reconciliation? I mean, what are the reasons for this indifference, right? So mainly there are two reasons for this difference. The first one is a time difference, right? The first one is a time difference. So I'm going to write down here reason for preparing a bank reconciliation statement, or reasons for difference. All right, reasons for difference between cash book and the passbook or bank statement. So of course, as I said, we have two reasons here. So we have two reasons here. So the first reason is a time difference. Time difference, right? And second reason is a error made, right? Error made. Time difference and error made. Now, what is time difference? Okay. So, for example, I receive cash from customers, right? So let's say I'm going to write down here, we have uh, cash accounts and cash accounts or cash book or passbook or bank statement, right? So, for example, I receive cash from customers. If I receive cash from customer right now, I will make transaction in my cash accounts because I receive a cash, right? So I will make a I will make a transaction in my cash account. So which means my balance will increase, all right? But now the question is, right now my cash accounts balance increase, right? But now the question is, right now my bank statement or my passbook balance also increase? The answer is no, of course not. Why? Because it takes time to deposit money in my bank statement. It takes time. It takes 1 day, 2 days. It depends. If we, for example, we have holidays or public holidays. So due to public holidays, banks are closed and we cannot deposit right now money in my bank accounts. And the day bank open, for example, today we receive a cash, right? And today is a 29th of the month. So let's say there are 30 days in a month. So today is the 29th of the month and tomorrow is a public holiday, right? And banks will open day after. So the date bank open, it's a new month, could be a new period, all right? So which means in this period, my point of view, my cash increase. So let's say $100. My point of view, my cash increase, which is $100. But bank point of view, for this period, my cash is zero in this period. So at the end of this period, the balance of cash book is not equals to the passbook. That's the example of the time difference. That's the meaning of time difference. So the time I receive money, I directly or right now transfer that amount in my cash accounts. However, it's not really possible, or it's not really uh, really um, important that at the same time money will be transferred to bank accounts. It doesn't really necessarily mean that. It could be transferred maybe 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, 1 week, or 1 month. It depends. All right. So that's the meaning of the time difference. All right. So for this time difference, I'm gonna give you some example of this time difference. So we have some points for time difference. So I'm going to explain all these points one by one. The examples or the causes for time difference. Oh, I forgot to talk about the error made. So error made could be possible causes for uh, balances difference. All right. Error made means error either made by company or made by bank. Right? So suppose it's a $69, but by mistake bank transfer in accounts 96. That's kind of things. This is called error mates. Right. So now we move on to the time difference. Right. So the time difference So the time difference, the first point is, okay, before I move on to the first point, I need to ask you whether, do you know the word called check? Have you heard this word, check? Writing a check or giving a check? Have you heard that word before? No, you don't know check. Someone said yes, someone said no. Okay, I tell you what is the check. Um, Check is exactly like as paid by cash. Yes, paid by cash or paid by check. Check is just a piece of paper. In that we call them checkbook. So who issue checkbook? Checkbook issued by the bank. For example, I am a company and you are a bank, and you giving me a checkbook. So if I need to make a payments to someone, I will write a check. I will write the name of the person, amounts, and my signature. But remember, I can use the only check which is the bank give it to me. Always checkbook is given by the bank, right? It's just piece of paper in rectangle shape. So I will write down the name of the person and the amounts, and I will give that check to that person, and that person will go to his or her bank accounts, and he or she will deposit that check in his bank account, and that person bank will contact to my bank, and money will transfer to the person. That's the meaning of the check. That's the way that check work. All right. So 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 the first reason is the check issued by the bank but not present for the payments. Right. So the first reason is we can call it check. Spellings could be same. Either, I mean, spellings could be different, but same idea. Either I'm writing check, CHECK, or CHEQQUE, same thing, because in England English, I mean, the UK and the US English, but the same idea, check. So check issued but not present for the payments. All right. Check issued but not present for payments. All right. Not present for the payments. Now, keep in your mind, I'm saying issued. Now, what does it mean, issued? Issued means if I give, if I need to make you payments, I will write a check and I'll give it to you. That's the meaning of issue, right? That, which means I am writing a check to you, so which means I need to give you money. So that's the meaning of check issued but not present for the payments. Now, it means when I give you check right now, so let me write down here. I have a cash accounts, cash book, and passbook, right? So check issued but not present for the payments. When I am writing a check to you, what will happen? Right now, my cash will reduce. So I will write down minus, right? Money out for my cash account. How about passbook? There is any changes in my money which is in my bank? No, no any changes right now. Of course not. Same thing. Time difference. That the day I am writing check to you. For example, I write $5,000, right? So $5,000 out from my business means right now I will make transaction that my balance, my cash book, my cash. Okay. So for example, I write a check. I write a check and I give a check to you. So let's say $5,000. So right now, the cash will be out from my account. So by that reason, I'm writing here 5,000 out from my cash account. So I give it to check to you. So what does it mean? You you will deposit check in bank right now. So let's say yes, you got a check from me. You go to bank right now, and you will deposit this check to the bank. So let me draw a small diagram here. So that's me. All right, me means I'm writing check to you. All right, so I issued I issued a check. All right, I issued a check to you. So what you will do, you will go to your bank. Right, you will go to your bank, you will give your check to your bank. Right, now what your bank will do, your bank will contact to my bank. Right, your bank will contact to my bank. All right, because my bank is my bank can see that the check is the check I'm giving to you, the check is issued by my bank. Right, so my bank will see that there is enough money in accounts or not. So let's say in my bank accounts right now I have a $7,000. Right, so in this $7,000 my bank will transfer, of course, $5,000 from my bank accounts, my passbook. I'm writing here because remember in the beginning of session, I explained that passbook is controlled by the bank. So whatever money in and out, bank make transaction as per in and out in the passbook. So this 5,000, when this 5,000 out from my accounts, bank will reduce my balance from passbooks. Means minus 5,000 from my passbook. And of course, you increase, right? So what do you think? This whole kinds of procedure, how long it takes? You go to your bank will contact my bank, and then my bank will transfer money to your bank. Do you think this whole transaction could be occur in the same day? The answer is, of course, not. It takes normally 2 days to 3 days. We call it T2 to T3. Right? Transaction period is 2 days to 3 days. So what does it mean? Right now, I reduce my balance, which is 5,000, but my passbook balance not reduced. So there is no change. So no change in my passbook, and my cash book balance reduce. Right? So the difference between cash book and passbook is not equal. So that's the meaning of this first reason. Check issued but not present for the payments. Right? Maybe I give you check right now, you did not present this check to your bank right now, or money may not transfer right now. Right? even though you deposit that check in your bank right now, still money will not transfer right now, right? Or maybe I give you check and you keep holding check for some reasons. Maybe you're busy, you have no time to go to bank, or some reasons banks are closed. So there is no any changes in bank accounts, which means no any changes in a past book. As a result, the balance between cash accounts and passbook is imbalance, right? That's the first reason. Now we move on to the second reason. Second one is a so second one is a check paid but not collected by bank. Check paid but not collected by bank, right? Check paid but not collected by bank, which means that exactly same thing but in the opposite directions. So which means I receive a check. When I receive a check, so what will be happen to my cash accounts and passbook? When I receive a check, so let's say check value is a $1,000, right? So I receive a check. When I receive a check, right now I will make transaction in my cash account. So which means my cash accounts balance will increase by 1,000. All right. So my cash accounts balance increased by 1,000. But same reasons, if I got a check right now, I go to bank right now, for example, to deposit the check in bank, right? Same thing, I will go to my bank will contact to your bank, right? And your bank will check whether balance is enough or not. If balance is enough, if balance is not enough, then I will come to this point later on. But keep in your mind, if the balance is not enough, so let's say I need to take $1,000 from you, but in your bank accounts you have only uh, just $200, not enough money. So what will be happen in that situations? I will come to this point. So your bank will contact my bank will contact to your bank, and then your bank will uh, transfer $1,000 to your bank. I mean my bank, and I got money 1,000. So of course this transaction period or cycle take 2 days, 3 days, again depends. So idea is that right now cash increase in my cash accounts, but no no change in my passbook. As a result, the balance between cash and pass will be unequal. All right, so that's the second reason, which also create a difference between the balance of cash book and the passbook. Now we move on to the third point. Okay, next point is a Uh, Before I move on to the next point, I want to explain you a few things. I want to explain you a few things about uh, debit and credits, right? What is the meaning of debits and credits from bank point of view, all right? So keep in your mind, if I say uh, debited or debit by bank, if I say debit by bank, so which means from your bank, means from your accounts, money out. If I say debit by bank, if I say credit by bank, right, or credited uh, by bank, so which means money in, right? So keep in your mind the language basically used in a bank in relation of money in and money out. So for example, $5,000 are credited in your bank accounts. So which means $5,000 coming in your accounts, right? So $5,000 debited from your bank account. So which means that 5,000 are out from your account. So keep in your mind the word debit and credit, right? So this is exactly opposite from company point of view. If $5,000 debit, so which means company point of view, $5,000 debit means increase, credit means cash out, all right? But here we are discussing about bank accounts and the bank reconciliation statement, debited by bank or credited in your bank accounts, something like that. So keep in your mind the ideas behind debited by bank is out and credited in your bank accounts is in. All right. Now we go back to the our next one. Okay. So number three. So number three is a amount directly debited by bank, right? Directly debited. So which means money out from your bank accounts, which is held by bank, some reasons. So the reasons could be interest payments. Maybe you already set your system in your bank accounts that every month some certain amount of money out from your accounts, right? Or any kinds of bank charges that bank normally charge from the customers accounts. The charges could be account maintenance charges, charges could be ATM charges or any other kind of transaction fees, monthly or yearly transaction fees that bank normally charge from the customers. So that's the meaning of amount directly debited by bank. So which means directly means you don't know. So you have no idea. So means no change here because you don't know. Directly debited by a bank, so no change in your cash accounts. But is debited, so which means your cash from your bank accounts will reduce. So as a result, your balance unequal because from your passbook point of view, cash reduce, but cash book point of view, no change because you don't know. It's because directly debited by bank. All right. So that's the ideas behind this third reasons, which can create a imbalance between passbook and the cash book. Right. Now move on to the next. Next is a amount amount directly transferred in bank, right? So means you receive some kinds of money from someone else. That money directly comes in your bank accounts without notifying you, right? Like as the interest. You receive an interest. When you receive an interest, you have no idea that when you are going to receive a particular amount of interest. Or your customer directly transfer money in the customer account. So probably you know that your customer more likely to deposit money at the end of the period. But uh, maybe your customer made early payments. If your customer gonna make early payments, you're not gonna understand. So as a result, there is no changes in your cash accounts, but your passbook accounts increase, all right? Because amount directly transferred, all right? Amount directly transferred. So which means no informations about, uh, no informations to the company that, that the reasons to increase or transfer the informations in the accounts, right? So that's the ideas behind the fourth points, which is time difference. Now we move on to the next. Next is number 5. Number 5 is dividend collected by bank. If the dividend is directly or collected by the bank, because you probably you made some kinds of investment in some stocks, right? and and then you receive a dividend time to time. So whatever shares you bought in that company may gonna give you dividend weekly, quarterly, monthly, it depends. But the time they're gonna transfer dividend amounts in your accounts, you may not aware of that time. But your bank received that cash. So your bank received that cash, your passbook accounts will increase. There is no any changes in your cash book. As a result, there is an indifference between the balance of cash accounts and the passbook. Right? So that is your um, ideas behind the time difference of cash book and the passbook. Okay. Now we come to the points that I explained you before, and I said that, um, for example, I need to make you payments, right? So I'm writing out a check, $5,000. I give you a check, you get the check, you go to bank, and your bank contact my bank. The check, the amounts I written on the check is 5,000. All right, the amounts written on the check is a 5,000. But then my bank going to transfer money from my accounts to your accounts. My bank found I do not have enough balance. All right, so let's say balance. So for example, I'm writing a check for you, $5,000. All right, I'm writing a check. So what will happen when my bank going to transfer this $5,000 in your accounts? Not enough 5,000. So let's say there is a $3,000 in my bank accounts, only $3,000. So now the question is, what will happen now? Bank will transfer only $6,000 or bank will not transfer any money? The answer is, of course, bank will not transfer any money. So my bank will inform to your bank that my customer, which means me, do not have enough money. All right, and your bank will contact to you. All right, that your check that you give it to me, your bank will tell you that the check you have given to me, that check is dishonored. All right, or check is bounced. Right. So check dishonored. This is number 6. Let me write down here. Number 6. Number 6 is check dishonored. Or sometimes we call it check is bounced. All right. Check dishonored or check bounced. So from my point of view, I'm writing a check to you. All right. So my point of view, I reduce my cash balance, but in reality, you haven't received money. All right. So check bounce or check dishonored. In most of countries, if your check bounced or check dishonored, the person who received their check can sue you for this reason. So probably you may have to go for jail. All right, so it can take any kinds of legal proceedings against you if your check is bounced. So if, for example, I'm writing a check to you and the check is bounced, so I can go to jail. Right? So you can take any kinds of legal actions against me. This is the law in most of the country. I guess in Vietnam also have that kind of law. So so this is not nice thing. All right, check dishonored, because I know in my accounts I do not have $5,000, but I'm still writing a check for $5,000. All right, why I'm doing that, even though I know very well that I don't have enough time, I don't have enough money in my account. So what is the reason for writing a, for the reason is to just to avoid you, because I need to make you payments, avoid you for temporary period, right? So that's why some people they do that. And one more thing, if the check is dishonored, for example, I'm writing a check to you and you grab that check and you go to bank, your bank contact my bank says that not enough money, and then your check is dishonored, and then you have to pay some money to your bank. All right, keep in your mind, so that expense will be bared by you, not by me. Why? Because of course your bank is contacting to my bank, so which means it's not a free. It's not a free. So bank has to spend time and money to contact to my bank in order to expect that bank will receive some cash. But bank is not receiving anything because check is bounced. All right. So that's why whatever transaction cost, whatever money that bank spend to contact to another bank, bank will recover from you. Your bank will recover from you. If check bounced, if check not bounced, if receive full money, then all the transaction cost bear by your bank will not recover from you, because at least bank receives some cash. All right. So that's why bank, if check not dishonored, transaction cost or any kinds of expenses, bank will recover from you. You have to pay that, right? That's the thing that you have to keep in your mind. So that's all about your time difference, right? So time difference is finished. Now we move on to the next, which is the error made, and of course error made is not really really long. uh, Error made, just let me write down for you. So error made, we have two things here: error made by bank, of course, in a passbook, or error made by company. All right, by bank or by company. By bank means passbook, and by company means cash book. All right. So if any kinds of error made by bank or either company, of course there is a difference. There could be a difference between passbook and the cash book, right? So that's all about the reasons. Now we study about 6 reasons here, right? 6 reasons in your time difference, and 2 reasons here, which means 1 by bank and 1 by company. So total, we studied 8 reasons. All right. So we studied 8 reasons. And these 8 reasons actually a question. So in your assignments, you're gonna have these reasons, of course, in form of number. So you have to find the time difference, and then you have to make adjustments. Of course, once you identify the time difference, then you have to fix, or you have to make some changes in your accounts so the balance could be same. All right. So that's why we gonna prepare a bank reconciliation statement. In the bank reconciliation statement, whatever mistakes we have done which create a balance, so we gonna rectify those mistakes, we're gonna fix those mistakes, we're gonna fill the gap in order to make balance equal. Fill the gap maybe in cash accounts because of these reasons, or fill the gap in the bank accounts because of these all the reasons that we have discussed. All right. So that's the ideas behind this one. So how to fix these problems? Then this thing is more about calculations, right? So I think this calculation I shouldn't speak in these sessions because you're gonna have assignment submission uh, this week. So I think if I talk about calculation, you may not focus on these sessions, right? So I think we should stop here, right? We should stop here for these sessions, right? So assignments 2, we stop here, but of course we haven't finished yet, right? We haven't finished this one. So in our next session, we will we will continue with this one, but with some numbers, all right, with some calculations, and then move on. And until now, I haven't sent you the assignments too, I think, so we shouldn't speak about calculations right now. Once you got the assignments, hopefully today, no, not today. So today I will create your submission on your learning management system, and and uh, and so tomorrow or after tomorrow, I will submit, I will send the assignment to the office, and then office can or maybe I will ask the office if I can directly submit assignments on learning management system, because last time I submitted on learning management system, but I heard from you that you haven't received, I mean, you didn't receive assignments from learning management system. So let me speak to the office if there's any kind of technical issues in your LMS. If everything is fine, then okay. Please send us outline first. Actually, outline, I already mentioned outline. Yeah, you also send me outline. So better let me show you here the outline. Let me check. Outline for task 1 and task 2, right? Outline for task. Okay. I think I already mentioned in that video, so I think you should watch that video. I got the outline, so here. Explain, my friend asked for the I forward explanation of that. Can you please send me email for this explanation of task 3? If you send me email, I will keep in my mind because sometimes I forget. So please send me email for this task. What is your question, right? And then I will reply that email, right? Okay, so I got the outline. So let me show you here. Can you see the outline? This one, right? Say something. This one, right? Task 1, task 2.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So can you please take a picture? Better you take a picture right now from your of your screen, and then you can keep it with you. So I don't have to send you the outline. Finish.
Yes.
Okay. So so that's all about this session. So any questions you have, so please ask me now. Any question? Anybody has any question? Any questions? Please say something. Okay, no questions. So you understand all. Okay, all right. So we stop here. So please send me email if you have any question, and please also remind me again for your task 3 explanations. I want to using a lecture in YouTube to make a reference. How can I write? Better you can search how to make reference for. Wait, I show you. Uh, So I'm sending you a link, so you can follow that link. Okay, so I think I don't need to send you link. Um, okay, so I can share you here. So here, can you see that? Can you see the screen? Say something, yes or no?
Yes, yes.
So here is the idea. So author name, so last name, comma, first name, and screen name, right? Whatever screen name. So don't worry about screen name. Year and month and day, which is given, title of the video and video file. All right. So video file is video from what kind of file is it? I think it's a YouTube kind of things. So let's say here they give the example. This is the name of the person, right? And they have another name, the date and everything. This is the name of the video file. So exactly here. So you can copy. I can send you this link. I can show you this link. So here is the link. You can go to this link and you can find how to make the video reference for video. So anything else? So that's all. Can we stop now?
Yes. Bye bye.
Okay, thank you. I'll see you. Bye-bye. Send me email, please.
Yes.